Welcome to podcast number 3. And today we'll be talking about partnership. The reason why we want to do partnership because it's become more important. And if you run any business, you'll know it becomes very hard when you're doing everything by yourself. And we're in the business where partnership is a way for more people to know about you, for you to do more extravagant things in your career, come up with new ideas where you collaborate with different companies. Partnership is one of the forefronts, and we want to talk about it today.
Yep, I would say when you looking for a partner, you want to look for somebody that matches you, but also brings up the best in you. So like, if you lack on a certain area, you want to bring in a partner who is better in that area. So for instance, if you have a partner who's better on the back end and you're better on the front end, then it works great because they're handling the back end business while you handle the front end.
Yeah.
So it's all about complimenting each other and making sure that each other stay consistent.
Yeah. Now which camera are you looking at?
I'm looking at this.
The wild one?
Oh no, I was looking at the.
Yeah, look at the wild one.
All right.
And that's a part of the production. Anytime you're doing podcast production for your clients, or if you're doing podcast by yourself, make sure you're looking at the wide. Let the side, get the side. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Yeah, that's true. And you would think, since I teach it, I already know that, but here we are.
But yeah, outside of that, man, we wanted to talk about partnership because I think it was important. I called Cody. I was like, I think I know the next topic.
Yep.
Partnership. Me and Cody are actually in a partnership right now, and it's working out pretty good. Everything takes time, and along a partnership, I think the beginning of any partnership is knowing each other, getting an understanding of each other and how things operate under each other, see what one another's strong suit is, and just piggybacking off of that. And that just helps things grow faster. Now, some partners, not always the best partners.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I said you want to make sure you find a partner that works well with you, that complements you in a way, but also brings out your weaknesses so that they can help them, and maybe that's their strength. If you look for a partner and you find out that it ain't really working, then it's always a good idea to just reassess the situation, decide if that's for you, and if it's not a good fit, then cool, restart.
Yeah. And like I said before, there's nothing wrong with resetting. Even when it comes to creating content, it's okay to start over. Especially with partners, because that's the hardest thing. Starting over with partners, that's something I think no one want to do.
Right.
Starting the idea with one partner, and then next thing you know, things don't work out. Now you got to go reset and do things differently with another partner.
Yep.
Bro, I don't know if that's something that's like the most exciting thing to do. Now, working with people can be exciting.
Yeah, definitely.
But working with new partners.
Yeah, I would say, like, when you go switch for a partner, like JB said, you have one ideas of ways that you're working it, and then you go with another partner and they have an idea of how they want things to go.
Yeah.
So, then it's like, wow, we have to come together and make it work again when you've already spent a year, 2, 3, 4 years with someone else making it work. So It's all about coming together, compromising, knowing that you will have to restart, but it's okay to restart.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people, I will say this, a lot of people have a mindset where partnership is not their biggest interest.
Yep.
They rather get it out the mud, do it by themselves, which is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
There's nothing ever wrong with working by yourself, but just keep in mind, the work that you're putting in by yourself will take you a lot longer if you had a partner. Granted, you'll have to do, more splits and cut into your pockets or whatever, or real quick, if you're someone that want to create high quality videos and you need a little push and you need a little bit more education on how to do so, Course Creator Academy has your back. We have one-on-one classes and virtual classes for you all where we can schedule a time in the day and put you guys in our online course so that way you guys can learn everything you need to know on how to achieve high-quality videos.
Also, don't forget, follow us on all social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, to learn more about what Course Creator Academy has to offer.
All right, we're back. Quick connect, people always want to, you see the cameras, man.
Right, yeah.
And this is why we say keep working, keep doing what you're doing, because you never know who's watching or who's interested.
Right. Yeah, man. These cameras can really put you in rooms that other things can't. And the good thing about that is, while we're on the topic, is if you're in these rooms shooting, gather up and soak up all the information you can on the topic that they're discussing. So, like, these rooms you're in, they're going to have people buying tickets for this event that's going to be hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
And you're not only getting to get in for free, but you're being paid to be there. So soak up the information.
Yeah, be a sponge.
Yeah.
Always be a student. And don't try to be the smartest in the room. It's not worth it. It's okay to just play small and win big.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to put it.
That's a very good way to put it.
Okay, so back to the topic of partnership. So what's some of the tips that you would tell people when entering a partnership with somebody?
Well, I would say number one, like I said already, is definitely making sure that you find somebody that you can work well with, meaning either they complement you really well or they pick up where your weaknesses are and that's their strength. So you want to look for somebody like that. But also when you're trying to find a partner, you want to make sure that it's somebody that has the same goals as you.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to find somebody who's trying to go on a different path and then you're trying to recreate that and tell them and bring them back onto your path. That's just not going to work. That's like trying to change someone. When they have something set in their mind, if that's the way they want to do it, let them do it.
Yeah. That's actually a good tip. One of the tips that I would say outside of goals, expectations.
Yes.
Because if expectations not set, one person could be thinking this, the other could be thinking that, and then at the end, it's not going to end perfectly fine. Because it's a huge misunderstanding in between. It's a blurred line, and you got to clear the air. So setting a great expectations and also thinking about every possibility that could go wrong in the partnership and try to get on that before that comes about in the situation. Don't say, oh, we'll think about it when we get there. We'll figure it out when the time comes, because when the time comes, I promise you, it's going to be another situation. And now it may become delays or separation in a partnership.
Yep, and that's why contracts are so important, because expectations, when they're set, it needs to be set not just with word of mouth, but with a contract. That way, when it comes time and the situation arises, you already have a signed contract. There's no discussion on who does what, why it wasn't done, and who did wrong. You know that the contract's there, you know the expectations were there, and you can discuss and talk about it and decide if that's a mutually benefiting partnership or if you need to just walk away.
Yeah. Now, I do want to say this, because I have had several partners. And I think the most important one is mindset.
Yeah.
Fixed and the growth mindset are real things in this world. And if someone has a fixed mindset, you're going with a partnership with them, and they will literally, let's say hypothetically things are 50-50. 50-50, let me go a little deeper with 50-50, okay, in partnerships. So you have 50-50 where we got this mindset of, let's say if it's a bill.
Mm-hmm.
You do your part on this bill, I do my part on this bill, perfectly fine. 50-50 in another perspective, okay, we'll go half on this, but everything we make comes together and we split it in half. It's not about what comes in, only goes here. It goes to everybody in a partnership. You have to forget about yourself in a partnership. Take away the selfishness and become selfless. Now, I do understand, I'm a big believer in you got to be selfish first before you become selfless. But try to hurry up and get to the selfless part. Understand that, okay, selfishness is just a period of time. It's a period that I'm going through at the moment. But don't stay there, because selfishness is not the best way to live. Selfishness is the perfect way to live.
Yeah, I'd say that's a great point. And like JB said about the monetary side, you don't want it to be where you're trying to decide after you get the money who's going to split what, who's getting what. You definitely want to do that beforehand, because it gets real ugly. You know, $20 turns into $20,000, which turns into $200,000, and real quick you're going to get your feelings hurt. So that's why contracts are more important, and overall just picking the right partner.
And to bring that example to life, let's say if it is a $20 ordeal, right? What I meant by the 50-50 on the bill or the forefront, which probably is a rent.
Right, rent.
And let's say if it's a service provided, within, that person may say, okay, I bought this person in, I'm going to collect. But it's like, that's not fair to the partnership, because you kind of discrediting the whole partnership ordeal. You might as well do it by yourself.
Exactly.
Don't look at this as a roommate.
Right.
You know, don't look at me as a roommate. Look at me as a business partner, and everything that comes in, it don't even have to be 50-50. It could be 70-30.
Right.
It could be 80-20. It could be 90-10. It doesn't matter.
Right.
The principles are the principles, and they stand as such.
Yep, and that's really based on what you decide. You know, if you decide it's 80-20 is best, if you decide 70-30, it really comes into play on the expectations and the contracts, what you set. But I would say overall, just make sure that you're working within the bounds of your expectations, because like I said, it's going to become very hard, very quick to work with somebody who's not working well with you. And you're going to realize that the $20, like I said, when it starts turning into $20,000, you're going to get your feelings hurt, and you're going to realize that that person wasn't meant to be. So quickly, you're going to have to change. And like JB said, it's hard sometimes to just switch to a new partner. It's not easy.
Yeah. And speaking of partnership, we have a product that we want to display and talk about and give our criticism on the things that we like and don't like about it. And it's Lano's portable charger.
Yep.
It's a 2-in-1 portable charger where any creative that does videography and photography that's on the go all the time and need to keep their battery charged, this is the perfect device for you. Simple fact that I think I just said it. You don't have to plug anything to a wall.
True.
Or even carry around a power bank.
True.
And the beautiful thing about this portable charger is that you also can charge your phone. You can charge your batteries. Your mics.
Yep.
And you can also charge the camera. That's wild.
Yeah.
So you basically got a mobile portable power bank.
Yeah, that's true. I like that it's small, and what's cool is I usually carry around a mobile battery pack because there's a lot of companies that sell them, but this one specifically for creators, it has the batteries that I'm using, I'm able to charge. So like I use the FX3 and it's got the Sony batteries that I'm able to just plug right in and charge on the go.
Yeah, and you can find this device on Amazon. Like I said, they make it for all of the devices outside of Sony, because I know we big Sony fans over here.
Right.
But they do make for the Canon community, the Nikon community, and etc.
Yeah, it's definitely something you should put in your toolkit. They even make versions where it'll hold your SD card. It's an SD card reader, so it's definitely something that you should put in your bag and have always.
And they also have smaller wattages on Amazon as well. I think we saw a 20 watt and an 18 watt.
Yep.
And that definitely plays a factor on the charging speed.
Yep, and the price, of course.
And the price.
Yep.
But you get what you pay for out here, man. So it's gonna be there if you pay for it.
Yep.
So, that's the Lano's portable charger. So, more about partnership, man. So, tell me your experience with partnership. How has partnership been with you outside of our partnership? How has it been with your experience on partnership? Tell the people a little bit more about your personal experience.
Me personally, it's been sort of kind of difficult. I had a partner that I started with probably 4.5 years ago now, and I thought it was just gonna be the greatest thing ever because I seen they did photos, and I'm like, well, they do photos.
Yeah.
I do video.
Yeah.
If we come together, we can make it work.
Maybe.
But yeah, maybe. That's a big maybe. Because at the end of the day, we found out that's not true. That's not the case. Just because you see somebody doing something and you think they're on one wave, they may be in a whole other lane and you may not want to be in that lane. So you have to choose wisely and choose carefully. But me personally, I ain't going to say that I didn't choose wisely. I was just getting started like everybody else, fresh, not understanding a true partnership, not understanding how to set those expectations, and not understanding that you have to have a contract. I don't care if it's day one. I don't care if it's your family member, a close friend, somebody said they got you. Write it down, sign it. That way it's legal and it's on paper.
Yep. Those are great pointers. I like that.
And outside of mine, your partnership, what would you say that your partnership has been like?
It's been a journey. I had a chance to experience different personalities. Because I am a very ambitious person, personally.
Okay.
I can get very passionate about the things that I believe is true. But the ultimate thing that I learned is you got to be patient, for one. You got to be patient with people. And with the process. It's not with just people. With what you all are growing. Because most of the time in partnerships, one person is the pursuer.
Yep.
Meaning one person came up with okay, I want to do this, but I know I can't do it by myself.
Yep.
So then they go search for a partner.
Yep.
And I've done that several times. So that's how I figured that process has got to be a thing. So after you get to that process, now it's like, okay, I met this person. Let's try to see if we're a good fit. Then you try to fill them out, see how their work ethic, see how consistent they are. Is this something they really serious about? Because you're the one that came up with the idea. So you need someone that's at least a little serious about their own situation,
right,
before you can get them to come together with you.
Right.
After you find out, okay, they're consistent, they want to work, they take it serious, and then you just start slowly going in, like, hey man, this is the idea, how you feel about it? And I tell you this, that reaction off the first one will tell you everything.
Yep.
If it's real dull, like yeah, I do like that, yep. And then we got crickets.
Yep. That's when you know they really ain't messing with it.
Yeah. But then when there's more excitement, you see their eyes get big, they're passionate, and then when day one starts, it's no question. That's when you know you got a real partner. Now, I will say that can be also confusing because you also got people that show up day one. Because it's not all about day one. It's about month 5, month 6. Actually, after 1 year plus.
Yeah.
That's when things are really locked in. I think me and Cody been working together for about what?
7 months now.
7 months. So we're coming up to a year and we're still rocking.
Yep.
So.
yeah. That 1 year mark is really the tell all.
Yeah.
Because if you can stay solid with somebody for a year and y'all aren't constantly arguing about money or about goals or anything in general, then
it's a true understanding.
Yeah, that's a true partnership.
Yeah. Now disagreement is gonna happen.
Of course.
Disagreements are a part of everything. So don't be the person that's always scared of disagreements or, oh no, we getting into it. Oh no, we're going all opposite. Well, no. Take your time. Get an understanding on how can we not run into this again.
Yep.
And this is another thing that break relationships and partnerships. After that argument, if there's no true recovery, you also have a problem.
Yep, and personally, I could say that is kind of what happened with me. I fell out with a disagreement. It never got recovered. The other person thought they were right. I thought I was right. And at the end of the day, it was just a disagreement in partnership and how we ran things. And it kind of ruined more than a partnership. So that can happen. You don't want to burn bridges. But I'll say this, because I've heard this my whole life. I've heard people say, don't burn your bridges. And yes, I agree. Don't burn your bridges because you never know who you may need. But I will say also this. Don't sacrifice your true thought, your true inner peace just to please other people. Just to say I didn't burn that bridge, so I did all this for him. No, you don't have to go above and beyond just to prove to someone else that you're okay and you're not gonna burn a bridge. Burn that bridge. Let them know that it's okay that you be yourself, they be their self, and y'all go different paths. It doesn't mean you have to yell at them and call them out online or tell them they're stupid or nothing like that, but it does mean that you need to keep your inner peace and go your own way.
Yeah. Separation is cool.
Yeah.
That's why I say it's always good to start over, and it can hurt.
Yes.
Partnerships that don't move forward can hurt and can slap you in the face sometimes because you can be going all in.
Yep.
And it don't work. Just imagine. All in. $10,000 in, $100,000 in, $1 million in, and the partnership don't work.
Yep.
$100 in, $200 in, $300 in. It doesn't matter.
No, it don't matter.
Imagine it just not working and you really, really wanted it to work and you saw the vision. You thought it was going to work. You thought this was the answer. You thought this was going to change your life and it don't.
Right. That can happen. And it's not all about the money, of course. We keep saying money, but at the end of the day, it is a business. So you will have to provide and produce revenue or else the business will go under. So that's a lot of the big things that happen when it comes to partnerships breaking up or partnerships dissolving is that the money gets in the way, and it can happen before the money's even made, which actually is a great part of the process, because if it happens before the money's made, then you don't have to worry about coming in and now you've made $1 million and you're wondering why this person just took 6 of it and you've only got 4, why this person just took 9 million and you've got 1. You don't have to worry about none of that. It's all started from the jump. You realize the person they were, the person they wanted to be, and you just moved on.
All in all, when you enter in a partnership, know what you want and analyze every possible obstacle.
Yep.
Everything that could possibly get in the way of the partnership. Think about it. Take time to do it. And my favorite part is make a mission statement. After everyone came up with agreement, we cool, want to work together. Before the contract, go ahead and set a mission statement. Okay, these are the principles and values we're gonna follow all the way to the end of this finish line. After that, the agreements on the mission statement is set, then we can start, bringing in some contracts and stuff or whatever. But I think that true mission statement will be like the ultimate one. And also, lastly, move in stewardship. Don't have a partnership and then in the back of your mind you trying to get a person to work for you. Now I know a lot of y'all do that.
Yep.
A lot of y'all do that. I'm talking to my business owners now.
Yeah, you gotta stop that.
Y'all get a lot of these fake partners. You call them partners to make them feel good, but when they back turn, this is your what's the word? Give me a word. This is your it's not even robbing.
Yeah, it's
your minions.
Yeah.
Your minions.
As a business owner, you don't want to hire somebody, like he said, act like you're going to give them % of the company or act like they part of this company when at the end of the day, you're just trying to get another worker.
Basically.
And when that person needs help, you know where to be found.
You know where to be found. Or you giving the bare minimum help.
Yep.
But long story short, be there for the people, move in stewardship, especially when building a team. Even if you do have people that's working for you, move in stewardship. Don't be the one that's always trying to tell people to go for this, go for that, do this, do that. You don't need to do all that. Move in stewardship. Set the expectation. Tell them what you want. Tell them what need to be met. Have them agree to it. and hold them accountable for, and check in with them by the week or the month, and there go your success.
Yep, that's it.
So yeah, that's our video about partnership. If you want more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe to Course Creator Academy. And we are going to keep doing this because, like I said in the last episode, this is a way for us to constantly create content, because we are actually being held accountable right now to keep creating content. So we're going to keep going.
Yep. We'll see y'all later.